Hello and welcome to the acrylic sheet workshop. We're going to make an acrylic window panel, this one here, that's twirling around in this session, and although it looks very simple, the technique that's used is more difficult than the other techniques we've used so far. We're going to use the soldering iron to trace the pattern of the ammonites and the smaller patterns, and we will fuse dyed synthetic organza to the acrylic sheet at the same time, and finally we'll drill a hole at the top to suspend the window panel from a small hook in the window. And I use a piece of polystyrene, or you can use a chopping board that's wooden or nylon, to protect the surface of the table while you're working with the drill and with the soldering iron. As it is a difficult technique, I would advise people, in the pack there is a small spare piece of acrylic, and I would advise you to have a practice first before you get going on your finished piece. So to start the panel, first of all we take a piece of acrylic. On both sides is a piece of plastic which you'd need to peel off, and we also have templates, so we'll take template 1 and put the acrylic over the template. Now I'm going to use the soldering iron. I have it in an upturned terracotta plant pot, and the plant pot's got a hole in, and it protects the surface of your table, and it also protects you. If you have it on a guard on the table, you can reach over and burn yourself quite easily. And this is how I like to work. Okay. Now the next thing is to choose a piece of fabric that's in the pack, and we're going to place that over the top of the ammonite. This soldering iron's been on for quite a while, and I want to make sure it's not too hot, so I'm just going to cool it down a bit by using it on the spare piece of acrylic. There we are. Then just gently stretch. This is the most difficult part, is just adhering the first bit. There we go. So that's now stuck to the sheet, so you don't need to put your fingers quite so near. And just a little bit at a time. If it isn't working for you, it could be a number of reasons why not. It could be that the heat of your soldering iron is either too hot or too cool, which will make it more difficult to adhere. It'll either burn the fabric or it won't adhere to the acrylic. This one's going quite well for me today. I think I've got the heat just about right. You don't want to press too hard either. Probably can't see that. There we are. So you've got to get the pressure right. You don't want it too hard or too gentle. And if you go too slow, if you move too slowly, you risk burning the acrylic. So it is important to have a practice first. I'm going to do a whole ammonite here, and then we'll see what we do after we've finished. So all the time I'm working, the fabric is fusing into the sheet, they're melting together. The fabric's synthetic, as is the acrylic, so they're both very meltable with heat. Right, now I've been all the way around, and what I'm going to do now is pull the fabric away from the out. This is quite a tricky bit, so you don't want to pull too hard because you don't want to pull the fabric. Let's get some scissors there. You don't want to pull the fabric away altogether, it's just the bit around the outside you want to pull away. There we are. I don't mind if I get a few tails either. So you've got a nice bit there. I quite like those. And I would do the same with the ammonite at the bottom there, so I would have two on there. Right, so say we've completed this piece, so we'd have two like that. And then what I'm going to do now is change to template 2, and that's got 2 more ammonites on it in 2 different places. And when you put this on, you'll find out that the ammonites overlap each other. But because you've turned over, you won't be running into the work from the previous one. You've got a new smooth surface here. And as you can see, where they actually overlap each other, you get another shade with the 2 colours mixing together. So I'm going to take the other colour now and do one of the side ammonites. Here we are. The window panel's bouncing about quite nicely. So now I'm actually working over the top of the previous ammonite, but it's not affecting me at all because it's actually on the other surface, although you can see it really clearly. There we are. So I have actually gone all the way around there. I've not put the little lines across the ammonite on, but I have been all the way around, so I should be able to just pull this off from around the edges. There we are. Now for the very tricky bit. And around the edge, you see we've got these little markings here. And that is tricky to keep the fabric on because quite often most of it gets burnt away. But the soldering iron seems to be working well for me today, so we'll have a go. But don't worry if the fabric does burn away, because you can see on this one here, some of these are quite clear, the fabric's gone and all you've got is the clear sheet, but it just gives it another dimension really. Right, so in between the fingers and just gently stretch, and each one you need to pull it away. That one's worked, very good. And again. No, this one isn't. Just a little bit on that one. There we are. And you can mix and match with the 2 fabrics. You can have them all one colour one side, or you can mix the colours up on each side. put a bit of green on this. There we are. There. I'm pleased with that, it's worked well. Right, and then you would carry on and do all of the little marks. And what we're going to do now is in the top corner of the panel, we're just going to put a little mark where there's a circle on your template. And there we're going to drill a hole so that we can put the fishing line through. So take the drill, put it in the hole that you've just made with the soldering iron, and then just drill it all the way through. And then all the bits can just be flicked off. Try not to rub it on while it's dry because it will scratch very easily. And then we'll take a piece of fishing line from the pack, and also in the pack is a diagram of 2 half hitches, and this is what we're going to use to tie the knot. So you just take it through the hole, hold one side steady, and then just make 2 half hitches on the other side. In fact, we'll do 3 half hitches just to secure it, and pull them nice and tightly. So then you just clip the short end to about 1 centimetre. And then you need to decide how long you want your hanging. I'm going to do it to about there. And then you do a double overhand loop. So I just fold it in 2, wind it round my fingers and pull it through. There we are. And again, pull it nice and tight and cut the end, leave about 1 centimetre behind. Just move this out of the way. There we have the hanging, and in your pack you'll have a sucker with a little hook on. The sucker goes onto the window, and then your hanging goes onto the hook. And there's your square window panel. I hope you found the video helpful.